call to order at 6:05. And any public comments? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve the April 23rd. April 23rd?
Yep.
All right. April 23rd meeting minutes. Oh yeah, because we didn't do May.
Make motion?
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion or any changes? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? If you weren't here, I don't remember who wasn't, but you should abstain. Rich,
Yeah.
Rich isn't here, but Nick, right? Okay. And, okay. Motion passes. Association liaison report. Alright. Chairs report. So we had the installation dinner. When was that?
No, it's the first Saturday of May 3rd, I think.
The 3rd? And did we have a list of the officers?
Yeah, because we have to ratify them.
It's in your
Oh,
packet.
sorry, thank you. Okay, so Fire Chief Sean Rowland, Assistant Fire Chief Ted Pokowitz, Captain Chris Risch, First Lieutenant Nick Margarelli, Second Lieutenant John Kea, Third Anthony Iorfino, Sergeant and RJ Cahood, Chief Engineer Jim Code, Assistant Engineer Lou DeLeon, and I will take a motion to ratify the installation of officers that occurred on May 3rd.
I'll make a motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? All right, hearing none, motion passes unanimously. Review current financial statements.
So this year has been really tough. Next year is going to be even more tough because the cost of everything has gone up significantly, and even though we show like a 10% increase on our budget this year, we're still not up to where we need to be. And when we get to my report, I'll explain like even where apparatus cost-wise is compared to where it was 10 years ago. So we have some overages, but we did a couple contingency transfers, one being we had the holding tank in the back had to get pumped out. That's where when we wash the trucks off, the water goes in through the oil water separator, goes into the holding tank. We need to get the holding tank pumped out and the oil water separator. They used to cost us roughly $1,500 every time when we used to do it 2 to 3 times a year. Right now, it's costing us over $4,000 a time to just to pump out to get rid of. Greater New Haven Water Pollution Control doesn't take the water anymore. It's been going to Tredevi. So the composition of the water with Greater New Haven Water Pollution has changed, so everything has to go to Tredevi, which we were paying maybe pennies on a gallon, where we're paying almost probably close to 50 cents a gallon. So it's gonna continue to go that way. Just FYI. We had some money transfer also into our budget to cover. We have the storage facility up in Bethany, which we're paying for, along with some other miscellaneous stuff for trying to vacate the old firehouse, go up there while the shed is being built and trying to get completed. So we're gonna have that number with us next year too. Right now, if you look at it, it's under repair maintenance building. You see a $20,050 transfer adjustment in there.
Yep.
Part of that is that. Part of it is pumping out the oil separator and some other stuff.
Why is the water negative? You see the water line item?
So the water is based on RWA, so the $1,500 is not enough money that they put in. As you can see, we're already at $17.77. So cost of water is going up too. Just like hydrants have gone up over years.
But why wouldn't it be that we spent 100+% as opposed to?
Because you already spent I don't know why it says that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the
Yep.
number's negative, but I don't. It says there's an available budget, there's not.
Right,
Okay, sorry.
no problem.
Anybody else have any questions?
Once again, I think it's also important to note that when we look at like hydrants and stuff like that, out of that, we pay for a lot of other buildings in this town. We pay for Beecher Road School, the library, the center building, Public Works, the town hall. So we're paying for all those service charges along with our building, so.
Yeah.
And the electricity's gone up because the state's.
Electricity has gone up quite dramatically over the last year, especially with the public benefit charge. Plus, we are currently working on getting somebody in here to fix the HVAC equipment so we can manage that with the electric and the gas.
Okay, chief's report.
We had two firefighters that passed firefighter 1, so their graduation is Wednesday night.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's good. We've had quite a few people join over the last couple months, so that's good. That's a good thing. We did pump testing here. Tower 1 failed its pump test. So we're looking into finding out what that entails and what that's going to cost to fix. Like I said, the HVAC for the building we are working on here. Like I said, the budget's also going to be tight this year, even though we went up. Cost of things have gone extremely high. And talking about that is, I have an article here, if you guys can share it. Let me make copies. It talks about how fire apparatus has increased, doubled over the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
So a $2 million truck is pretty much the norm. An engine right now, I did some homework pricing it out, and an engine right now is north of $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
probably north of $1.2 million. And they're going to continue to go up. The article basically talks about is there's like big conglomerates, so they're coming in and they're buying multiple manufacturers, multiple truck manufacturers, and they're doubling what it is. And the majority of them are 2/3 of the industry, and you're also having long lead times. So years ago, you used to buy a truck and get it 260 days, 280 days. That was a sweet spot. Right now, we're on the average, we're looking at 30 to 40 months plus for an engine, and right around 4 years for an aerial. So that's why it's important. We need to plan. We need to be proactive rather than reactive. If we're going to play reactive, we're going to jeopardize safety, because you're not going to go out to a yard and pick out a fire engine. They're all custom built, and they're all built for you. So even if we had a truck break down significantly today, or catastrophic failure like we've had, we're not under a year. We're quite a few years out. So we have to be more reactive here. But we've been trying to get 25 years out of our trucks. on the average, we've been averaging about 24 and a half years before we've had big problems. This, I think what we need to do is, as a commission, I think we need to start ordering trucks at minimum at 20 years. Which, per NFPA, for a department like ours, we should be replacing our trucks every 20 years, so we're trying to stretch what we can get out of them, but I think when we go into budget season next year and this year, which we are currently working on, we gotta create a plan with the town on starting to order trucks. We can't let things fail before we figure out how we're gonna pay for them, and then sign up and go, because if we look at it, let's say we look at an engine right now, it's gonna take us probably 6 to 7 months to design an engine, and then we go out to bid. By that time process, it's 9 months, 10 months, and then we order it. So our order starts the day we sign the contract, not
Not when you start designing.
not when we start designing it. So there's escalators built into it now, so if, let's say a truck costs 1.2 million and our truck doesn't come up for a build until for 30 months, if the cost is going up 10%, you either have to go up to 10% or you can back out. Problem with backing out is you're starting back at zero again, and then you're gonna take that truck, you're gonna get back in line, and by the time you get your truck built again, it's gonna go up even more than that. So
Plus
we're in a
tariffs.
little bit of a tough spot right now, yes. But we're not the only ones in that spot. A lot of departments are in that spot. And the lead time is what's really killing us right now.
So
The cost of the truck is huge, and there's not much we're gonna do about that, but the lead time is what kills you.
And then the budget kind of depicted when you can even start this, right? Because
No, so I've had discussions with the finance director. What we normally do is lease purchase. So in years past, we usually do either a 3-year lease to purchase or we do a 5-year lease to purchase, depending on the cost of the truck. Now that they're north of $1 million, I think the best way to go about this, and I talked to other departments, is they're just extending the lease program. So instead of doing a 3 or 5 year lease, maybe we do a 10-year lease to keep the payment down. So we're not getting killed by a $600,000-$700,000 payment when you have multiple trucks coming up. Maybe our payment's $300,000 to $400,000. So that's what I think we need to start to do. And we need to start to do that now.
So we're meeting with the town, the subgroup, to work on that. And
We are.
what have we proposed that gets ordered this next budget cycle?
We need a tower, and we need to start looking at replacing engine 2. And then right after that, once we get those two on board, we need to start looking at the next truck out, because we're so far down. We gotta look 4 years out here.
Yeah,
We're
and
not
then
looking-
the other issue is the Board of Selectmen can't bind future boards of selectmen to finances. So that's a problem with the lease, but that's worked in the past.
Yes.
So we have to have a concept that the current Board of Selectmen is on board with, and then we need to implement it in such a
Along
way.
with the Board of Finance.
And Board of Finance.
Mhm.
We need to implement it in such a way that it carries forward, understanding that no future Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance is bound by what we're doing. So that's
Correct.
the hard part. As we order a truck and we have to start paying for it in 4 years, Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance could be totally different, so.
But you're signing on to a contract at that point.
Right, that you can back out of if
You
the
can.
price is too
Yep.
high. So that's just the other issue that it's very
Well,
hard to figure out how to navigate. But
Right.
we at least have a conversation going, and we have another meeting, July 6th.
I think July 1.
First?
I think.
Okay. Good. Next meeting, July 1st. Anybody have any questions about that?
We went through our ISO rating. We stayed the same, correct?
Officially, we're still waiting for the official word.
But we didn't really move, which was good.
That affects
Could have gone
insurance?
down. That affects everybody's homeowner's insurance.
Yeah.
we had a couple issues which we had to fix and get through. But I think moving forward, I think trucks are gonna dictate what's gonna happen with homeowners insurance and equipment. It's not just trucks, it's the equipment on the trucks and everything else. Maintenance has gone through the roof also, not only the cost of trucks, but maintenance has gone up, and the more and more mandates have come through where you have to follow and you have to test equipment, and when things obviously are broken or headed out, we have to fix. The old firehouse, we've been still cleaning that out. We're down to one bay right now where we're working on emptying. But now we've been told we have to move the trailers that are in the lot. So we've been working on that. We found out today that they won't move the trailers full. So we have to figure out a way to empty the trailer, get them to move the trailer, and then repack the trailers over there. So,
Great.
yep. So it's a lot more work than just having somebody come pick the trailer up and move it. Now we have to empty it, get it moved, and then refill it again. So we have a couple ideas, but it's just, once again, it's more time.
Yeah.
Um,
And what is your deadline? Do you have one?
The best we can. That's the
You
deadline.
can't stay there? You can't stay there?
No, so they're trying to do that facility, to get that facility completed by the end of the year, because they have a $2 million grant they have to spend over there by the
Right,
end of the
but the
year.
trailers are outside.
Trailers are outside, but I guess there's a lot, and I don't know what's going on out there, but they have a lot of site work to do out there. So we have to move those trailers, and right now, I've been told we could put them in the town hall parking lot, and like the Jerry Shaw parking lot, but we have to get them empty, move down there, and then repack them. So we are working on it. I don't have an exact date when that's gonna be completed, but it just seems like we're doing a lot of moving and a lot of work other than fire stuff
Yeah.
lately. And I just hope the town appreciates it, and this is quite a bit.
Yeah.
This is quite a bit, let's put it this way, this is quite a bit if we were a paid department to do.
Yeah. Above and beyond.
One more thing, I went to a planning and zoning meeting last Monday night for 804 Fountain Street. We have a bunch of questions, myself, fire marshal. During that, sat 3.5 hours before they got the public comment. Got up and we had 3 minutes to talk, so we listed our questions. Didn't get a response back because they don't respond to you right then and there. So basically have to go to the next meeting, or we'll listen to it and find out what the responses are.
And they didn't make a decision that night, they're just
They
continuing it again?
continued the public hearing. Joe received a call from the contractor, and there's a meeting set right now for the 24th.
Yep.
To meet with us. We do have some concerns on that site that we need to have answered. It would have been a little easier if they came and asked what we thought before going to a public hearing.
Well, what is the protocol? Doesn't the application go to all the town departments, fire marshal? You
Yeah,
get
but it hasn't
zoning?
been approved yet. That project's not approved yet.
Oh, but I thought you would get zoning applications before the project was heard. and
No,
then-
you don't have to do it by the time.
Okay. Other towns do.
I know.
There you go.
Way to rub it in.
We seem to find out last on all the projects, honestly.
All right. Anything else from the chief?
We had to fix the one Suburban, which we put over 5,000 into it. We need to put tires on that. The other Suburban, I don't know really what to do. We're having the main harness really bad. It just shuts the whole, everything shuts down. So gotta be careful taking it to a ball with, especially during the day. You don't know if the lights are on or the lights are off because you can't really see them unless you're looking at a street sign to see if they're reflecting off. So
And that is on our
town knows about it.
list.
Town knows about it.
Yeah, to be
We need
replaced.
we need to start acting. We need to act on all these trucks. You can't ignore the problem and hope it goes away.
Mhm. So that will obviously be discussed at the July 1st meeting.
We will. And then, do you want to talk about the shed in the back or under executive session?
Executive session.
Okay.
I mean, unless you think there's nothing to talk
Talk about
about
it.
that's protected.
Okay.
Okay, any questions? Activity report.
All right, breakdown for May, we had 3 fires. Of those, one was a car fire and 2 brush fires. We had 1 rescue, assisted medical. They had a patient that needed assistance getting out of a house, so we went down with a group of guys, took the basket, carried him out for the ambulance. We had 9 hazardous condition, which included 1 carbon monoxide call. We had 4 good intent, 10 false calls, and we installed 6 car seats, 27 total fire incident responses for 118.87. So we're running a little higher than normal because of the storm earlier in the year, but so far so good.
You want to structure fire last week?
Yep,
Or
structure.
next.
Yep, structure fire last week, that'll be in next month's report.
Okay.
And one other thing is they are changing the way we report our stuff to the federal government. Right now, it's all coded out with incident number codes that roll up into these larger groups. Going forward, they're getting rid of codes and going with more common descriptions. And they're also changing the way some of the calls are reported, so they're moving them around where they're gonna roll up to. We're working on that, so that's gonna require a change in the software program. Tina and I are working on a test bed right now where we're able to go in and see where some of these changes are and figure out where everything's gonna roll out, so we may have to change a little bit in the report. The numbers will stay the same, it's just where calls roll out in the system now are maybe a little bit different.
Okay.
Once we get fully on board with that, we'll let you know.
Okay. Very good. Anybody have questions? Okay. Fire marshal's report.
73 inspections, 1 fire investigation. Had a minor fire on the outside of a structure on Wolf Tree. The only thing I can say is in that neighborhood, this is the second time it happened, they buy a torch that goes on the propane tank to burn the weeds. Got a little too close to the house. That happened down the street last year, same street, Peck Hill.
Interesting. Do we have any regulations about using them or anything in town?
Never heard it.
Neither did I till I came to Woodbridge.
Oh, okay.
Till last year when the guy did it.
They didn't ask you about that either?
You want the truth? The wives got pissed both times. You get rid of that immediately.
Yeah.
There's your law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my
boy.
goodness.
All right.
Flamethrower burn the weeds.
Any questions? Any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Okay, any old business? New business? All right, hearing none, we're gonna talk about the storage and training facility in executive session. So I would enter, well, first we'll just talk the next meeting date is July 21st.
I will be on vacation that day.
Okay. Everybody else okay with that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss the storage and training facility under 1206B. Invite you. Chief, invite the chief.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. We have a second?
Second.
Second? All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion passes. We are in executive session.